Chaka Khan.
That's me now.
Chaka
You drawing.
Khan,
How
Chaka
you doing,
Khan.
my sister?
Does that ever get old? You ever get tired?
Hell yeah, it's old as hell. I said, hey, you can say it one time. I can hear you.
Yeah, but people go, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan.
Yeah. So,
all the time,
yes,
right?
yes. I said, look, don't run it in the ground. I'll make you, buy me a new one.
Not your given name as you were born, Yvette.
Marie Stevens.
That's right, from Chicago.
That's from Chicago, Southside Chicago, Hyde Park.
What are some of your memories of Chicago?
Those are my most vivid memories in my whole life. I mean, back then, people of color, we're not taking a whole lot of pictures. We didn't have state-of-the-art, but my dad was a photographer. When I became a teenager, then that's when pictures really started, coming into the family. But
from the Jacks out there too, right?
Well, from who?
From the project.
Jacksons. Well, no, I didn't live in the project. Don't never.
No, never?
No.
I'm sorry to say. Off the list.
Never went to a Baptist church.
You were Catholic. You was raised
Catholic. Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm a recovering Catholic, and any apartment that my parents got, they were both artists. They were both painters, and musicians, singers. They would paint the Louvre on our dining room wall, or the Champs-Élysées, or the Ulysses, the Ark of Ulysses. They would paint like that, all those murals.
Well, how many siblings you got?
There are four of us actually. I have two half sisters, and one. This makes five. Okay, there are three girls: Tammy, me, and Saheva, and then there's Mark. There's four.
So, what order are you in?
I'm the first.
Oh, first, the last, the everything. So, do any of your other siblings have musical talent?
Everyone is endowed.
Wow, that's great.
Every one of us is endowed. Every one of us does not use. Is not my sister, Chaka Boom.
Yeah,
she's done a lot of dance music. She's got lots of dance albums, lots of hits.
I remember when Chaka Boom came through
Undisputed Truth. She's with them. Smiling Faces. Yeah. That's her. A lot of her hits though are mostly European hits, and dance specifically. My brother Mark and I are like, he's a Libra, September 26th. He's a bass player, arranger, singer, writer. He and I are like that. We've written many songs together, and in the studio, if you slow down my voice, I sound exactly like him, and if you speed up his voice. He sounds exactly like me. So we are really meant to work together.
So if you were raised in the Catholic Church, a lot of artists come through the Baptist Church.
Yes.
And so would you have any singing? When did you know that you could sing?
Well, we had a choir. We had a choir in the Catholic Church. And I sang a lot of, most of them are based on Gregorian chants.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You remember any?
Yeah, of course. Beautiful music. Beautiful. I love those old ancient chords and that stuff. And I used to sing. Sister Marie Wan was our director, was our sister director, and
now you had a musical group, young too, though, right?
Yeah, we sang the Crystalettes.
Ah, there we go, the Crystalettes.
The Crystalettes. And
who picked that name?
That was well, you know what? One night, because we used to sit on the stoop, it was wintertime. It had just come, first snow. And my sister and I were sitting, and my two girlfriends who lived across the street, we were sitting on my stoop. And the snow came down so beautifully, and it was night, the hot night lights were just coming on. And it just sparkled off the snow in such a beautiful way. And I said, look, it looks like crystal. And then I wrote crystal in the snow. I said, I know a name for us, because we just were thinking of names for the group.
Sure.
I said, let's call ourselves the Crystalettes.
The Crystalettes.
And it worked for us for the time, yeah.
So now I'm from Oakland. I was raised in Oakland, California. We had a big Black Panther presence in Oakland. And you had...
As did Chicago.
Chicago. And, later we'll talk about our involvement. But you got involved early with the Panthers, right? Like pushing the papers and stuff.
Yeah, they had me selling newspapers at first.
Because you was young, right?
So young. I was in high school. I was maybe in my second year, and I was cutting a lot of classes. So I just took that time to become a Panther.
Well, it's safe to say that you've been quote unquote woke for a long, long time.
Yeah, I have. I have. I came from a very enlightened family. My father was my friend. He was my best friend.
You're very lucky to have that.
Yes, I was. I'm a daddy's girl.
So then after a while, you sort of phased out of the Panther thing.
Yeah, I left it because I looked at the whole situation when I got a gun, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I stole a gun off of a policeman during the scuffle. I just,
say that again. I don't think I heard you clearly. What did you say you did?
I used to cut classes and go to Loop City College almost every night to see Battle of the Algiers. That was our staple movie for Revolution. And so I'm there with all these college students, and we were not supposed to be there anyway. So this night watchman comes in, right? And he says, what are you doing in here? You're not supposed to be here this time of night. We all jumped him.
You jumped him?
Yeah. And so while they were holding him down and, and restraining him, I took his gun out of his holster.
Chaka.
Sure did. And I took that gun, I started taking it to the rifle range. I learned how to use it. And up until that point, I was a sort of a passive, Panther. Passive Panther. Mm-hmm. In that they would not let me do anything either.
Well, but people don't realize the Panthers really protected the women a lot at that time.
That's right. The men were very wonderful. Mm-hmm. And also, they had me, I started a Breakfast for Children's program on 40-something old church.
We had that in Oakland as well.
Yeah. Well, the free Breakfast for Children's program. I started it. And so in order to feed the kids in the morning, I had to cut my first two or three classes, which I hated anyway. The only classes I liked were English, biology, and maybe English and biology.
So you didn't take any music theory or anything in school?
No, nothing in high school. No, I was not.
So the crystalettes, needless to say, didn't work out, didn't last for a long time, right?
Well, we were kids.
Yeah.
It was something to do. And my mother...
But you kept singing.
Yeah, I kept singing. My mother supported us. She made our outfits. Oh. She dressed us up like little Chinese Laos, and she was also our chaperone because we did a lot of talent shows. Our biggest competitor was who was the girl who sang with Earth, Wind, and Fire?
The Emotions?
Emotions. It was either we won or the Emotions won.
We just lost one of them.
I know.
The other day.
I loved those girls. Those are my friends. I've known those girls longer than I've known anybody else.
So now, Rufus.
That started about 17. I left home.
Young.
I ran away. My mother was Aries. I'm Aries. It was not working. When my hormones started kicking in, my dog Mimi and I ran away. And I was walking at night with the dog, and I said, I want to fight. I hadn't seen my father in like 6 years. He had remarried, moved to Europe. He lived in Ibiza in Spain for about 5 years with his new wife. And they came back to Hyde Park, and I didn't know where he was. So I called my cousin from a phone out, one of them pay phones outside, which you don't have anymore. And
thank God.
Really, those are nasty.
I don't know how we.
It's a wonder we lasted this long with those songs. God. So I called my cousin, who lived on the west side, Shirley, and asked her where my dad was, and she told me. And my dog and I walked a very, 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 very long way from where I lived on 79th Street down to Hyde Park. Like 30 blocks, I'd say so, at night. And found my dad. And I went and stayed with him.
They had a lot of clubs and stuff around Rush Street and stuff in Chicago.
So that's where I worked.
Correct?
Yes. Well, when I left home, the crystalettes were gone, all that. I was a woman. I was on my own. So, and my dad was very progressive, a progressive thinker. You know, he was a photographer. He had his own dark room.
He liked jazz and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's a
too?
jazz fanatic.
Yeah.
I mean, I was most of the like working with Miles and working with Dizzy. These are people I grew up listening to. And when I met Sarah, these are people my mother listened to. I was like, God, I've really accomplished something. That's when I thought I'd made an accomplishment in life, when I was actually working with and got to know as
People you've been
friends a lot of
listening
people
to.
that I grew up listening to.
Yeah.
That really.
I just recently made acquaintance to Carmen McRae's daughter,
Mm.
and I was listening to her.
My mother loved
Carmen McRae.
Oh
boy.
my God, yes.
Okay, so now you're singing a little bit, and
Yeah.
you run it. How'd you meet the guys? Because
Okay.
I remember when you popped on the scene. First of all, we're gonna talk about this wardrobe too, because you used to wear a lot of Indian stuff.
Yes.
That wasn't at first, but then
picked,
later.
Yeah. Well, what I did was I wanted to pick a part of our collective history that we didn't celebrate.
Because aren't you?
It's right here in our face.
Yeah, you're
Blackfoot.
Indian.
Yeah, Blackfoot. Well, that's from up in near the Canadian border. But yeah, Blackfoot Indians. This is what I was trying to represent.
Well, you did. You did.
Yeah.
But like, did Rufus hear you singing somewhere? Did you go audition
Here's what happened
for them? Or?
I used to go up on Rush Street sometimes, from time to time, because I lived in a commune with a lot of. After I moved out from my dad.
Yeah. You left the Catholic Church and went straight bohemian.
Oh, sure did.
With your gun.
Sure did. So I'm living in this commune with like all these 8 people. And we used to go up on Rush Street and either jam, like at Mother's, there were certain clubs you could sit in or sing or whatever. And they were all musicians. And I used to go up there and just see acts. There were like 5 or 6 clubs. Rush Up, Mother's, Pit, Nero's Pit. Those are just to name a few.
And those are clubs that people from Chicago would totally remember, right?
Yeah, of my age group.
Mm-hmm.
So I once stumbled upon a band called Rufus playing at Rush Up.
And they were mixed, right? Black
yes,
boys.
they're all white. And one girl, Paulette McWilliams, was the only
So Rufus
singer.
was all white?
They were all white.
Mm-hmm.
Well, except for Charlie. What's his last name? I can't remember. He was a conga player. Okay. But everyone else is white, except Paulette had these beautiful face, long, big lashes, big hair, and big tits. Mm-hmm. And of course, all the guys loved her. And, she's very sweet, Sagittarius, she's on it. And so I used to watch them because I said, this is wonderful. That this great sound and originality, they used to be the American breed. They morphed from the American breed into Rufus. So they were all musicians that had been around and whatnot. And I was just so proud to know people of that caliber.
What type of music were they playing when you?
Their own stuff. Mm-hmm. Their own, and mostly country music.
Oh.
And that's so. Paulette decided she and I became great friends. And when Rufus, came into a caliber where we could play those same clubs. You had to really earn that. I started playing a club across the street from where they were playing. So on my off time, my 20-minute break, I'd run across the street and see her. And on her 20-minute break, she'd run across the street and see me. We became fast friends. Mm-hmm. She taught me a lot about the business and, how to put on eyelashes, which I hate right now.
Where is she now?
She's in LA.
She's here.
We're still friends, yes.
Oh, that's great.
She's my oldest friend. So anyway, she decided to go solo. Mm-hmm. And Rufus asked me to join them. And I was waiting for that day. Mm-hmm. And we started off singing country music. We were doing Hall and Cole. Oh my God, our first album Rufus's first album, which has the song Whoever's Stealing You Is Killing Me by Alan Toussaint, was my first single, which did nothing.
What a surprise.
Yeah, well, you got to start somewhere.
We don't want Chaka Khan in the country singing genre. We want you right where you at.
Child, Well,
but it pays to do it all because look at Aretha saying.
You have to be able to sing everything. I sing opera too. I've got some opera stuff that I've done. The Catholic Church would promote that, of course.
Yeah.
But singing in different languages. Like Aretha did that stuff on a dime.
I know.
She filled in for somebody.
It was bananas. So where were the boys during all this time?
The guys from Rufus?
No.
That we know?
No, relationship boys.
Oh, child, please. I didn't have many boyfriends. I was very Catholic.
Well, it says the painting on the wall say you got married at like 17 years old.
Yeah, that was to run away, to be free. Because I got my first album deal with ABC Dunhill. And I was too young to sign. I needed a co-signer. And I wasn't going to have that. So I lied to my mother, told her I was pregnant. First, I asked her, could I get married? Because I wanted to sign my record deal. She says, absolutely not. I'm not going to sign for you to do anything like that. I said, okay. So Hassan and I sat down, we thought about it. And said, just tell her you're married, you're pregnant. And when I lied and said I was pregnant, she rushed us down to City Hall. And I obtained my freedom so that I could sign my own record deal. So
you start singing and you're with Rufus. Now, wait a minute. How did Ike Turner
That came way later, honey, when I moved to California. That's more recent history.
Oh.
Or almost, not even recent either. It's old.
Yeah.
But I didn't move to California until I was 21.
Okay, because you guys changed from doing countries and you went into like
that's because the band changed. It's because of rock and roll. We toured with the Stones in the beginning.
So Rufus was making waves then if they got an opportunity.
We
were
really
they like the biggest band in Chicago, one of the most popular bands out there?
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
And then when you got with them, it just...
Yeah, it took off. It really did. It really did. They couldn't get a deal with Paul that was with the band. They needed something else, and it turned out to be me.
You're quite the wailer. You got a really, really powerful voice. How would you describe your voice?
Multi-genre, multifaceted, multi. I mean, I could sing anything, except maybe Chinese folk music, and that's only because I ain't heard it yet. If I heard a song in Chinese folks I would learn.
You don't read. You don't read music.
No,
you don't read music. Like Lionel Richie doesn't either.
Most of the great music, Miles Davis didn't. Most of the great musicians read music. Come on, what's to read?
So it's by your ear and by your heart.
It's left brain. It's left brain activity. It's a part of your brain that dreams and that as magic, where your calling lives.
So when you wanted to tell your band members what you want
I would sing it to them, or I'd learn how to play it. So I just played. I had to learn drums just so I could give
a
lot of drums. Yeah, and a little bit of bass.
Oh,
so
that's
I had
funky.
to give. Yeah, those are my. You got that's your
bottom.
Your bottom. You got to have it right. So I had to show many drummers what I meant.
It's hilarious. So you go head on. You guys signed with ABC Records.
ABC Dunhill.
And you had a fiery rendition of Stevie's "Maybe Your Baby Done Made Some Other Plan."
Yep,
right?
We did it on an album, yeah. And that's how he heard us, knew who we were. And the guy that was producing us at the time was Bob Monaco. Great man. He's a bless his soul. He just passed. But he came to studio one night. He said, we were out in Torrance. And he said, you guys want to meet Stevie Wonder? We said, of course. He said, what if I told you I can bring him down here tomorrow night to the studio? We said, yeah, right. I was pregnant at that time with my daughter.
For real?
For real? For real, yes. I was honestly pregnant. I was almost 21. And I was very pregnant. And he actually came, almost had that baby right there on the spot.
Ooh.
But my water almost broke.
Jesus, Stevie.
But that was really amazing. And he met us, so he said, I got something I want y'all to hear. So he started playing some song or other.
Mhm.
Everybody's heard this story.
No,
he started
everybody
playing.
hasn't.
He started playing something, and I said, what else you got? Because I didn't like what he was playing. He said, what's your birth sign? I said, Aries. He said, oh, I got something for you. So he started playing that. I said, yeah, that works. And we actually wrote the song together.
Yeah.
But I took no credit for it because I didn't know that I should. And number two, I was just so overwhelmed. Good. I was so overwhelmed, to have him.
I think nobody, even me reading it, I didn't know that Stevie Wonder wrote with you. Tell me something good. Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because that was, I think, I probably was in high school. Mm-hmm. That was the song that, for me, with Rufus and Chaka Khan,
signature song.
Broke through. Yeah, that was
our
the
breakthrough
one
song.
That set
and
the
people
world
thought
on
I was a
fire.
guy. They thought it was a dude singing, which I liked because I said, that's great. That's great. I'm so amphibious or whatever it is or something. I don't know the word, but I'm just so other that they can't tell if it's a man or a woman, and that's a beautiful thing.
I know the word you want.
Amorphy or something?
No, it's androgynous.
Androgynous. Thank you very much.
Androgynous.
It's too early for me to be thinking of words.
And you guys won a Grammy for that.
Yes, we did.
Praise the Lord.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
How did that feel? Like coming from, South Side of Chicago and little girls singing.
I knew from other people's reaction that it was a big deal. For me, it was, okay, next.
But did you know your voice was a big deal? Did you know your voice was different than everybody else's? Did you know that your voice was like legendary, that there has been no one since and will be no one who sounds like you?
No.
They get singers that come out now and they sort of sound like, maybe he sounds a little bit like Luther. Mm-hmm. That's what they said about Freddie Jackson. Mm-hmm. Or maybe they sound somewhat like Aretha, or maybe the Jennifer, whatever. But there's nobody who sounds like you, baby.
Now, I've been compared maybe a bit to Sly Stone, but that's just the style of
That's funny. That's
delivery.
the T-shirt I got on today.
Yep, your Sly T-shirt, Joe, dude. And but I've been more compared to an instrument than a person, like a saxophone. It's been, and I consider myself a horn. My voice is like a horn for me.
How did the marriage hold up through all this star rising? Mm-hmm.
Marriage isn't.
So now you're a single mom.
Yes, I always have been, even when I was married.
Hello. Mm-hmm. How was that? I know
it was. It's tough. The toughest part was not so much leaving my husband; it was leaving the kids because they want. When I had a baby, here's Malini running around.
I was gonna ask you, was she raised like in the studio? And
no. I tried to give her as much of a normal upbringing as I could, but that's impossible.
It is.
It's still impossible.
I tried it too.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Epic fail.
But when she tried to climb in my suitcases when I had to go on the road, that broke my heart. Mm-hmm. That absolutely broke my heart. So, even from when I first had her, I breastfed her for a year. So I had her on the road with me. I had her on the bus. We were on tour buses. So I had her little bassinet on the tour bus. I laid on top of the motor in the back, and she'd sleep forever. That good chocolate milk, and then put her down on top of the motor.
But, as you talk about these tour buses, it raises the image in my mind of, the Motown tour and what they've had to endure traveling and on the buses. Did you have to go through? Did you guys face much racism then traveling?
Yes, we did. Yes, yeah, because we had to stop at truck stops to eat. When we were playing in the southern states and even the Midwestern states.
Truck stops everywhere. The whole food though.
Damn good food. Still today.
Right.
But all over the United States, there's always been that underlying, racism, amongst the working class. And we were like having to try to eat. And, but we always had like a couple of white guys in the band. we would take orders if we saw it was
Oh.
extra rough.
Yeah.
But then, and there was a time when a guy hired us, and when we got there, the band had changed. There weren't as many white guys in the band. Tony and Bobby had joined. So that
because there was a lot of transition in Rufus,
yes,
correct?
There were, yeah. Yes, there was. But there was always the core. Tony Maiden, Bobby Watson, and myself, and Kevin Murphy, who is from Minnesota, and he's the one white guy that's stuck in there.
When did it change from Rufus to Rufus featuring Chaka Khan?
When I first
why? Why did that?
I didn't have nothing to do with it. It was the record label. It was ABC Dunhill.
Oh.
And it messed us up. That was the beginning of the end for us. It broke my heart. I said, look, I don't want to do this. We're a band.
So they wanted to market you that way. They wanted to market you being the front.
That's right.
You were not part of the group. It was like they're...
And they took it seriously. The guys, they
acted
like I did. Well, they acted like I did it. They acted like I orchestrated it, and that hurt me a great deal. And, it caused a lot of underlying, crap that didn't need to be. So.
Well.
I stuck with it as long as I could.
You've worked with you've worked with some of everybody, baby. Now, Quincy Jones came into your life.
Sure did. He produced us.
What was that relationship like?
It was great.
Does it remain great to this day?
Yeah, we're still. He's still like my great uncle or my uncle or something. We're very close. Yeah.
Genius.
Genius. I still see him. I love him.
Now, there's another partner that you had worked with who I happened to meet one time as well, spent the whole day with. That was the late, great Slick Rick James. True?
Yes, we did a song called Slow Dancing. Yes, in the 80s.
How was that?
He brought the song.
How did you get to meet Rick James?
He came to the studio. He just came to the studio where I was working at.
Did you almost have a baby again? Because I would.
Hell no. I would have touched with your stuff.
Stop it. Stop.
He was too warm. No. That shit was nerd. I was not that kind of woman, ever.
Well, in musical collaboration, though.
I may have had a couple of mercy situations, but...
I'm going to fall out this chair. Woo! That's
but
hilarious.
I can actually remember and count, okay, on two hands without using all my fingers, how many men I've been with. And that's a fact.
Why do you think that is? You picky? Are they intimidated? Or
yes, they're intimidated.
They're intimidated. It's hard to be with a boss. Yeah.
Yes, they're intimidated. And also I'm very just particular.
Well, what about now? Like, what kind of man would step to Chaka Khan now?
I don't even know.
You have a boyfriend?
No.
You want one? You hear her out there, folks.
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay, really.
Okay, so a little acting came your way as well.
Steven Spielberg wanted me to do The Color Purple. And
did he?
And the movie. And I was like, well, I don't speak with a Southern accent. He said, that's okay, we'll get a linguistics person. I was just coming up with stupid stuff to say. Because I was intimidated.
Would you have played Sophia?
Yes, I did when they did the play. I did do the on Broadway. For
you played Sophia?
I sure did. Me and what's his name? Gospel singer. What's his name? Oh, anyway, we'll look it up.
Well, that's crazy because another place we were at together was at the Color Purple opening on Broadway in New York. Remember we were there?
And we went to see it.
Yes, we went to see it. That was when Fantasia, wasn't Fantasia in it?
She killed it.
Yeah, she murdered that
girl
night.
is amazing. She has got stamina like a
Like a horse.
Athlete. Like a friggin' she could play basketball.
I love Fantasia.
I love her too.
You know what part I would have wanted to play if I'd have been in The Color Purple? You know, one of the three
singer,
ladies?
The singer.
the three, one of the three ladies.
Yeah, the three chicks.
One of the three chicks, yeah.
I would have liked to have played, the singer. What's her name?
Sugar Avery.
Sugar Avery.
How did you enjoy doing Broadway? That's a grind.
That's
8 shows
I ain't doing it now, am I? That's how I enjoy it.
8 shows
I did Broadway in also there. It's called West End in London when I lived in London, and I got an award, the BBC Radio Award for that. We did Doris, what's her name? Story. What's it? Mama I Wanna Sing.
Oh, I remember that.
We did that, and we killed it. It was really great. And but it was hard work. I'm not a Broadway broad.
It is a lot of.
It's
a grind.
That's slave labor. I'm
it
gonna tell you
is.
Anybody who does Broadway, it's the closest thing to probably slavery that
They're not paying you enough.
Okay, never. They couldn't.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot
because you know what you're gonna be doing for the rest for a big part of your life. Because they can't take you for 5 minutes. You got to play.
You got to commit.
Yes. And so you know exactly what you're going to be doing. That's like hell.
So I'm watching, but then you transform into film. I'm watching a little quirky little movie called The Blues Brothers. I look up in the choir, and I had to, I saw it at the movies. So it wasn't a rewind.
Right.
And I said, well, did I have a stroke? Or did I just see Chaka Khan?
Well, you know what? That was just like a cameo appearance. That was not a true experience with acting. I love the whole thing of film and actors and stuff. But I would approach it more as a cinematographer or something like that.
Yeah, but we don't care about that. We want to see you on screen. No, I'm saying out there for any of these directors that are watching this right now, give Chaka a role. We want to see Chaka Khan in some movies.
I'm probably not your girl.
No, I think you might be the girl. It depends on the part, wouldn't you say?
It depends really on the part. Mm-hmm. I'm getting ready to do my life story. Oh. Okay, and that's going to be really lethargic for me. I mean, cathartic for me. I'm sorry, cathartic for me. It's going to take a lot out of me because when I wrote the book, I mean, I had to recover from that too.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm glad you said the word recovery because check this out. We were talking the other day, right, about Oakland. Mm-hmm. We were talking about the era.
Yes.
And we were talking about certain artists and the recreation of it all.
Yes,
you know? And you were saying that you have so much music like other artists that's unreleased. True?
Mm-hmm. Oh, God, yes.
And then you said, I don't know how.
I did.
What did you say, Chaka?
I said, I have like 350 songs, okay, that I released most of them on albums, the album cuts, and maybe a third of those songs are not released. I have a whole CD I did with Prince and I did a CD together. I've done 2 other CDs with 2 great artists. Okay, I won't mention because I'm working on them now, getting them out there. That's it. It's 300 songs, 50 songs. How did I manage to get all that music done and get so fucked up in the same time? You know, I was like, how could it happen?
There was lots of artists coming through Oakland at that time, picking up little packages.
Yes.
You know, it's not
I was
rumor.
one of them,
This
for sure.
is well documented. You know, Charlie Wilson used to come through Oakland. Rick James used to come through. Natalie.
I used to go to Rick James' house, and I used to go to Nicole's house.
And that's
how I did it. I was very undercover. Mm-hmm. You know, I wasn't a real. You know,
there's no rumor, and I was in Oakland, but there was no. I seen her in the street looking toe up. You know, like unfortunately I didn't. Whitney maybe, but none of that. So you was cool with yours, but
and I used to do occasional, like I told you, go to occasional, underground joints. You know, after hours joints.
Yeah, after hours. Mm-hmm. It was nobody escaped, even myself, you know, and but the beauty is coming out on the other side, you know, because that was a wicked, wicked time, boy. That was a wicked, wicked time.
Well, I think part of the reason we still here is because some of what was in them drugs probably was like formaldehyde.
We're preserved. we're preserved.
Had a formaldehyde type effect.
If them kids did what we did, they would have never make it.
Okay.
But we're preserved like fossils.
I'm here to tell
from
you.
the inside.
That's the truth.
But you know what? That's just, par for the course and another chapter of the book.
That's
another
right,
chapter
girl.
of the book. Never do you feel like it ever affected your voice though?
No.
Natalie either.
No.
It never affected
No,
Natalie's
those are
voice.
two different those places, those things live in two different areas of my whole makeup. You know what I'm saying? When your calling is untouched by anything.
Mm-hmm.
What you are put here on this earth to do is untouched by everything. Nothing can really mess that up.
I've never heard you hoarse. Have you ever lost your voice?
Yeah, when I had laryngitis or something like that.
Like before a performance though.
Yeah, I have.
Right.
I've had some. Not often at all. There was one gig I did, and it was always because of overbooking.
Oh yeah. Working
Too.
too hard.
It's something would happen to me. And someone that was they're just assholes booking.
You got a lot of awards, Chaka. Grammys.
Yes. Yeah, I did.
American Music Awards.
Yeah, I got a few. Yeah.
Listen, when you guys did Soul Train, just to backtrack for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how big a thing Soul Train was for us. So the first
I was on
time,
it every 5 minutes. Who was on it?
I was like, Don Cornelius loved you.
Yeah, we were.
And
good
you guys
friends.
were on Soul Train many, many, many times.
Yes,
Do you have
we
a
were.
Soul Train award?
I probably do.
Do you have an award cabinet at your house?
My mother has it. It's at her house.
All of them?
I'm not trying to look at it. That's not what compels me.
Oh.
Thank you very much. But, it's nice. I'm honored, and that's it.
There was a time also, this is off book right now. There was a time also when you were heavier. You've lost a lot of weight,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I've gone up and down through the years.
Yeah, you was always pretty consistent being tiny. Then we all blow up and then go back down, whatever. Do you feel like there was any discrimination against you when you were thicker?
Probably.
And do you feel like you got more attention again after you lost the weight? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why. Because there was a time when people was like, "Oh, Chaka's gonna be on the video. Oh, Chaka's gonna be here," and then when you lost that weight, it was like, "God damn, look at Chaka."
Yeah, well,
There's a lot of that came back.
I got a lot of attention when I lost the weight.
Yeah, you did.
Because I lost the weight.
Yeah.
And I mean it. When I say I'm gonna do something, I'm going to do it.
But see, you can, and your image, you came from the midriff and the Indian stuff and all that, and then you was covered up like Stevie Nicks.
I sure
a bunch
was.
of layers and layers and layers. And
well, I have. Let me tell you, listen. I have a bad body image. I don't know what I look like. I really don't know what I look like. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand in a mirror and assess myself in comparison to...
Take off your clothes right now. I'll tell you what you look like. I'm
not in front of the cameras, but one time we will do that. And you can tell me what your assessment is or where I stand on the scale
some
of
wine before we do all that.
You know what I'm saying? We need a drink first.
For sure.
Okay. But yeah, I have Aretha had the same thing.
Yeah, well.
She had a bad body image. She would order or have size 8s made for her when she was a
Bless
size
her
40.
heart.
God
that
bless
was
her.
legendary.
And I've seen many zipper busts on her on stage. But God bless her. Where there is genius in one area of your shit, somewhere else suffers. Okay. Someplace else really suffers. You're a cuckoo head in someplace.
In that wardrobe, God bless her, Rita, them pipes, but her bad wardrobe choices are pretty legendary.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on.
See, when I lost that weight, because I was fit to kill myself, I was pre-diabetic.
Oh.
I said, no, this is not.
So you did it on your own?
Oh, yes, I did. And anyone can do it on their own.
Well, there was rumors of surgery.
No, I had no surgery.
No surgery?
No cutting.
You did it on your own.
No, I had 2 C-sections, and that'll work for me. And I had 1 knee surgery, and that's good. I'm not about the knife or needles.
Well, what would you say to somebody who's struggling with their weight like now? Like, it's crazy time, pandemic and everything. People, I think, are trying to eat better.
Yes.
During this
That's what I was going to say.
Right?
Let's say that if there was ever a time when you want to focus on improving yourself in any way, now would be that time, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it would.
So believe me, it's a struggle. It's been a little bit of a struggle for me to maintain my weight during this pandemic because food and I don't necessarily have an emotional thing going, but when you're just sitting up looking at friggin' frack movies all day, and thinking, oh, what can I make for dinner,
or what can I snack on while I watch this?
Shit. So that's where
Do you cook?
Yeah.
You a good cook?
Yeah, I'm a good cook.
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay, you go see. You are going to see. But I like to cook healthy. I always have. I've been my kids been eating spaghetti with no meat and thinking it was meat in it their whole lives, pretty much. they didn't know.
That's a good trick.
They did not know that they were not eating meat, for a long time.
Let's talk about another one of these hits.
Yeah.
Through the Fire, To the Limit, to the Wall. Boy.
Okay, that was actually a song called Chaka. It was written by David Foster. He wrote it as an instrumental.
By the way, that name, it's a long name, your name, Chaka. What's your whole name?
Chaka Adune Adufe Yimoye Hotari Karifikan.
Good Lord. You put all that on your driver's license?
Hell no. No. On all business I put usually Yvette Stevens. I just use her for simplicity. That's my spiritual name.
You got named that by
Baba. By a Baba that came from West Africa.
And what does Chaka mean?
Chaka, T'Chaka Zulu was a warrior.
Yes.
And it's Tchaka.
T'Chaka.
That's the male name. And then female is Chaka. Chaka, warrioress.
Absolutely.
So that's what that name is.
So you do Through the Fire, and then along comes this little guy. He's got a backpack, and he's not that, big on the scene yet, and he wants to redo the song, right? What's his name? Let me see. Kanye West.
Oh, that rapper dude.
Yeah, that little guy.
God.
Yeah, right. So how did that happen?
My son used to hang out with him.
Oh.
They were friends. Mm-hmm. And right after his accident, my son came to me and said, when he was in recovery and all that.
He was
wired shut.
Yeah.
He was just doing liquids. And he said that he had listened to Through the Fire a great deal in his recovery. And that warmed my heart. So anyway, I said, okay, that's beautiful. What do you want? No, I'm just kidding. So anyway.
You're not kidding.
Yeah. So he said he wanted to redo the song. I said, well, are you a singer? He said, no. I just wanted to use your chorus. So it was one of the first situations of a rapper taking a chorus off of your original song, putting it onto their song, and using it. So I thought about it. I said, well, he can't mess it up because I will be singing it after all. It's my voice. But he found a way. By golly, he found a way to frick that up. I was through.
What, you don't like the little chipmunk?
I hate it. Are you kidding? Come on, girl. Please,
chipmunk noise?
Oh.
Lenny Williams said the same thing. Twister took Lenny's song and did the same thing with it.
How can you do that?
And Lenny was like, at first he was like, I don't know about this. And Lenny said, but then them checks started coming.
Well, it was an insult, period. I'm not doing this for money.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So I was very upset with that.
Do you remain upset with him?
I'm through with it. I'm done with it now. I'm even done with Through the Fire, really.
I don't think so.
That. No, I'm not.
Listen, when people do concerts, that's nice. You got new music and all that shit.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck, right?
I know.
We want to hear Through the Fire. We want to hear Black Butterfly.
I know.
We want to hear all that, Tell Me Something Good, all that. And I'm sure that people don't realize when you make a hit, you better love it because you'll be singing it the rest of your life.
Even if you loved it when you made it, Okay?
By 35
so
years.
after 35 years, you're going to have a different kind of feel some kind of way about it. So, it's just natural. So, right now what I'm doing, and I'm getting ready to start streaming shows.
We're going to be able to see Chaka online?
Yes, starting next month. This is September, we're in now. Mm-hmm. Next month, the beginning of next month, you'll be able to stream online and see shows of mine, which I will include my hits, but I'm going to make a medley of my hits so that I want to introduce them to some great songs that maybe they've never heard. And then I did do a poll with my listening audience to see what songs they would like to hear me perform in a show. Mm-hmm. And I said, without hits. And I was taken aback. I was surprised in a good way at the response I got.
Before I started screaming on stage so much, I used to have a lovely singing voice, Chaka. I can still warble a bit.
I can hear it.
And once you get started, that was I used to shut the party down singing that girl. I shut the party down. I had my hair and everything. You
can't stop. You just can't stop now.
So you did collabos with Robert Palmer?
Robert Palmer. Actually, that's love. No, that was not Robert Palmer.
Wait a minute, who was it?
That was Steve Winwood.
Steve Winwood.
Robert Palmer.
Oh, Addicted to Love was Robert Palmer.
And we actually did a duet. We didn't ask the record company, and we fell in love, he and I, one night, listening to The Night I Fell in Love by Luther.
The Night I Fell in Love.
That's my friggin' song. That's my number one song by Luther. Sorry.
Oh.
But we met that night, and they were playing The Night I Fell in Love. And I made the DJ play it over and over and over again. And we were just making goo-goo eyes at each other the whole freaking night. And then one day later that week...
he was hot back then, too.
Yeah, he was hot.
Palmer. Yes, he was.
I was living in New York then. And this is New York. And we went, and he said, you want to come to the studio and maybe we do this song with me? I said, hell yeah.
Want to come to the studio and roll around a little bit? And maybe we'll get a song
Let's get it, yeah, absolutely. And we were with the same label. We both at the same label. We said, so that'll be great. They can't say no. I mean, why would they say no? We went in, we did it. It was fabulous. I did the vocal arrangements, all the backgrounds and stuff, and put them down and stuff and all that. And then we played it for the
Addicted to Love?
Yes. And we played it for the label, and they said no.
What?
That was the first time I think that I experienced true racism.
They didn't want you two together? Mm.
I can't come up with a good reason as to why they wouldn't.
I know Tina Turner incorporated that in her playlist as well. Addicted to Love, yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've seen her do that song.
Oh, far out. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great.
So who were some of your favorite collabos with, though? Like, who do you really just...
Some of the songs I love is the one I did with, what's his name? Peter, somebody with it was with Chicago. Cetera.
Oh.
Peter Cetera and I did a beautiful song called, I forget the name of it's beautiful. It's called Take Me. I did a song with Chicago, the band, called Take Me Back to Chicago.
I love Chicago.
And then I did with Peter Cetera when he quit the band and went solo. We did a song, Feels Like Heaven. Oh, that's a beautiful song. It's so beautiful. And so we did a duet.
Who do you like to be in the studio? Who do you just love to work with, though?
Myself.
Okay. All right. Okay, so now you do I'm Every Woman. Mm-hmm. It's an anthem. Still to this day.
Yes.
And somebody, a little chick, wanted to redo it by the name of...
Who did?
Didn't Whitney redo that?
Oh, Whitney.
Yeah.
Whitney did it.
Whitney.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Whitney did that.
Whitney did that.
Yes, Pregnant. She did. Pookie. She got in on it. Here's the deal.
You were in the video. We were very happy to see that.
She called me. Well, you know what? I was actually the first person that she recorded with in studio. She's 14. Her mother was my main background woman when I did studio work.
Sissy sang background.
Sissy sang background. all my 80s stuff.
Go ahead, sissy, from Elvis to Chaka Khan.
And so one day she said to me, she said, I got a daughter. I said, really? She said, yeah. I said, can she sing? She said, she can really sing. I said, then bring her down. So her and Luther on this one album together, and Sissy, they sang background for me. And I don't know if I'm Everyone was in there. No, it wasn't. I sang in the background time Everyone. Mm-hmm. But I forget which album was even on. But Sissy was always on my albums. Luther, at that time, nobody knew who he was. He was just doing background work in studios. And that's how a lot of singers start.
That was now Whitney's voice was one that did get destroyed by,
Yeah, and frustration, emotion, and stress. That will really affect you profoundly. If you're in a stress situation, she was being pulled.
Yeah.
In a way that
it would wear down anybody. It would, especially with trying to do the reality show and keep Bobby at a certain level. Weren't you on your way to Clive's party that day?
That night, yes. I had just got back in town, and I wouldn't be going unless she asked me to come. I wouldn't. She's the only one that could get me to his party, so she wanted me to come because I'd missed her. She'd been in town for a week, and I'd missed her because I'd been on the road. So when I got back, while I was out there, I was seeing all the crap that that was happening to her, and she was because before she came down to do this fucking party, she was up in Canada shooting a movie. She's doing a great job, doing a beautiful job, soberly, but well. She had her wits about her. She was in a great place. Then somebody calls her down to do a party, and who calls you in to do anything a week before it's happening, unless you're going to be doing rehearsals or something. If I'm going to come to your party, and even if you in Houston, I would just fly down the day of, a night before, go to the party, maybe stay a couple days if I wanted to afterwards, and then go back home. That's what killed her. I will tell you right now. The fact that she came down a whole fucking 7 days before the party with nothing in place to keep her or to insulate her from.
And she just ran amok.
It stressed her too. She was friggin' stressed. She felt compelled to be there for Clive. She felt compelled, to be there.
You had a good relationship with Bobby Chris too, isn't that right?
Yes.
So this is just tragic all around, right?
Yes.
Friend and their child, and how did that
affect you?
The only
consolation I get in that, is that I know that they're in a better place. I know they're together.
Yeah.
And they're happy now. I feel it in my solar plexus.
Let me see, My Funny Valentine.
Mm-hmm. That was jazz.
Nobody has been able to make me like that song until you sang. That was boring to me.
Yeah,
but it was really
I feel
nice.
I know what you mean. I understand that. But Babyface came in and produced it, so that's why I did it. I thought it was a bit overdone too. I said, it's been done.
That's like if I hear Amazing Grace one more time,
please.
I'm probably gonna stab my eyes out with a hot curling iron. Literally.
That and I believe the children are the future.
I can't.
Teach the well and
let
them lead the way. Give me a friggin' break.
Please, somebody.
Oh,
stop the record.
There's some songs that played their songs.
I can't do it. Yeah. I can't do it. As popular as you are here, you like the queen of Europe, and you said you lived in London. Didn't you live some?
Yeah, I lived in England. Yes, I lived in England and Germany.
What's it like? What's it like for a girl from Chicago
Very different.
going to
Very different.
Germany, and why?
Well, I moved to England because I needed to get the hell out of America for a minute. I needed a whole change of the way of I was living.
We all do right now.
So I exiled myself. And I said, I'm going to.
You and the kids?
Yes. Well, I tried it. I took my daughter. she eventually she said she came for a minute. She said, "No, fuck this."
Okay.
So, but my son, I put him in school. He went to school there. He was too young. He had to be with me.
So he speaks more than one language as well?
No, he just lived in England with me. I moved.
Oh,
By
I
the
thought he went
time
to
I moved to
Germany.
Germany, he could stay where he wanted. So, but I needed to thrust myself into a whole different environment. You know, refresh. I needed to wash myself clean.
Well, when I think of refreshing, I don't think of England. No.
Well, any place where I was.
Where you was. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I had to get out of America. I really did. And it helped me. I think it may have even saved my life.
I know I'm zipping around. I got so many questions and ideas and things coming across. But back to the collaborations. When I saw this, I really almost lost my mind. When you started working with Prince, girl, Lord have mercy. He was doing a concert and he brought you out. I've watched it on YouTube 100 times. It just makes me weep. He's so lucky to have known you. You were so lucky to have known him.
I feel the same. Yeah, we are very kindred.
You and Prince?
Yes, kindred spirits.
Had I not seen the Purple Rain concert in person, I would have thought that Prince was just like a fairy or an angel that came down for a while and left. I wouldn't even think he was real.
He kind of was.
What kind of relationship did you two have?
We were just very, very close spiritually ourselves.
How did he reach out to you in the first place? He reached out to you?
He came and find me in a crazy ass way from your hometown. No, it was in San Francisco actually. I think it was at Electric Ladyland Studios. I was out. I was out there partying with my friend Eddie. We had driven my little ragtop Mercedes up there, and we was running around having a good time for a couple of weeks. And I was in a hotel, and I get a phone call, and it sounded. Me and Sly at that time were very close friends too. Okay,
that was a disaster.
I know. It was from one disaster to another.
Everybody named is like, oh damn.
Yeah, I needed to get out of there. So, Sly and I were real good friends. And so it would have been nothing for him to call me anywhere I was. He could find me. He would call. So I thought it was him on the phone.
You thought it was Sly?
Sly.
Playing the game
just like him. Sound just like him. No, it just sounds like he said, I'm in town. I want to be at the studio. You want to come down there? It's okay, I'll be down there in a minute. Just tell me where it is. So he told me where it was. And I went down there looking for Sly. That's when I went in. The studio was as dark and cold as a morgue. I said, what the fuck? I said, there's nothing going on. I said, what? There's no lights on. So I just went all the way to the back until I found like a booth with a light in it. And there's one guy in there by himself, and then there's one engineer. I said, this is not like, this is very unsly-like.
Yeah.
You know? So what's really going on? So I went and looked in the booth, and I went in and said, hey, to the engineer, and looked in the booth. I said, who is that? He said, that's Prince. I said, Prince? Prince of what?
Chaka.
You know, I did, you know, so.
The Prince of what?
Yeah, the Prince of what? And, you know, as a little short guy in there, you know, with a big guitar playing the shit out of it, I might add.
Yeah.
So when he saw me, he put down the guitar, and, you know, and he came in and talked to me, and he said, that was me on the phone. I said, okay, nice to meet you. I have to go. And I left.
You left.
That's how we met. And after that, he got, you know, I don't know, he always could get your number. He got my number. He called. He called me and talked to me a lot on the phone, and then we sort of friends. And when his album came out, you know, I was really impressed. And the album was getting ready to be done with. They had done maybe 2 or 3 singles on it, but they hadn't released "I Feel for You," which I felt was a loss. I said, "Oh, so we can't let this go." I said, "I'm gonna redo this sucker here," and I did, and it did well because we decided to add put a rapper on it. That was like actually officially the first song to
marry rap and
yeah,
R&B.
hip hop and music, yeah. So it did very well. So then after that, of course, we became bigger friends because
Did
we had
you
something successful in
you
common.
go to Paisley Park?
Of course. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I used to go and hang when we came to LA. You know, we'd hang out a little bit. You know.
How you hang with Prince? You can't go nowhere.
Yeah. Well, he can't. Yeah, you too. He would empty a whole restaurant.
Oh.
If we went out to eat, there'd be nobody.
Like
there,
where? Tell me where y'all went.
We did.
I'm gonna go
Child's.
lay down.
We did Mr. Child's before, and we did a couple of exclusive restaurants that were mostly Italian. That was he liked Italian best.
You know, I know Prince isn't like your flavor probably, but didn't you just want to like ever kiss him? God damn, I would love to kiss him.
No, because you had to know the guy. See, he's shorter than I am.
I don't give a shit.
That's a problem for me.
He's powerful.
Problem for me.
And he got pretty eyes.
He's fabulous and he's a genius and all that. I loved him for all those things, but never in that way.
Come on, Chaka.
I didn't want him.
This is Prince. And he can look at you and he can put you under a spell. You know, Prince looked at me.
If you have to climb up to my lips,
he don't have to go
I'm only
that far.
5 feet tall.
He don't have to go that far.
On a good day.
He can stay right where he at, if you know what I mean.
But, yeah, I do. I do. But see, I just didn't feel for him like that. I feel for him.
I feel for you.
But I didn't feel for him in that way.
Prince looked at me, my clothes would just fall off.
That's, a lot of women felt that way.
I don't give a shit.
Lots of women felt that way. But I didn't.
I'm not a slaver.
It takes more than a pretty face to move me.
Not for me. I'm shallow as a kiddie pool. I don't give a fuck.
Well,
if you pretty,
he was very smart. He had all the attributes that I would put into someone that I would be interested in every way.
Now also,
however, except he, we did music together. That was what we that's what we really,
bonded.
Yes, and so it just isn't in the cards, and I was cool with that. And then when I read this article that he gave this girl herpes, I was like, I'm so happy that I did not. She sued him.
Chaka,
she sued him for.
Cut that out.
That bitch sued. He paid a yes.
That Usher. That's not.
Child, nope.
Prince.
It was Prince.
You got no,
sweetheart. It was Prince.
Oh my God, I'm gonna fall on the floor.
No, so I was like, oh, if I ever had a thought, I can live with myself.
My God,
very comfortably now. So.
Oh my God. Well,
you got look.
Musically, y'all was powerhouse.
We were everything.
It was
we were everything.
Amazing. If people haven't seen, check
out
on
album.
YouTube.
When y'all hear the CD that we did together,
Lord have mercy.
And we did the CD in like 3 weeks. It was crazy.
Where did y'all record that?
Who does a whole CD at Paisley?
Oh,
who does a freaking CD in 3 weeks? I'm like, I came in on the last night. So what we doing next? He said, we're done. I said, surely you jest. He said, no. We're done. It was great.
I want to take a tour of Paisley Park. I haven't been. I definitely want to go, feel his spirit. But I always want to go where I ain't got no business. Like, I want to go upstairs.
Yeah, of course, like everybody.
Like when I went to Graceland, I wanted to go upstairs.
In his bedroom and the bathroom and shit.
Yeah, I want to go in
the closets and go on the floor in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, everybody does.
You worked with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Those are my babies.
What powerhouse.
Great
Come
album.
on, who haven't you worked with? My God.
A lot of
people. Who haven't you worked with that you would like to work with? Male and female. Come on, let's go.
Nobody.
You like somebody, Chaka.
Not now.
What about somebody young?
Someone.
Like, what about Ariana Grande?
Okay, no, fuck her.
You like Ariana Grande?
She's all right. She's good on her own.
I'm gonna fall on this.
She
somebody catch me.
Plus, I don't want to sing with another woman. I ain't got nothing to say, okay, with a woman. You say it by yourself. Say what you, and we ain't gonna talk about no man. We're not gonna do none of that stuff. It's not happening.
See, this is what an old boss bitch can do. You can say shit like that.
Yes, I can, and I can do it. I don't have to do it. This, I'm not gonna do no song with no heifer. So here's the deal.
Oh my God.
Thing is, if out there, I love Rasan Patterson.
Oh yeah. Oh, he'll love
And
to
one day
hear
we are
that.
going to sing something together. One day we'll work together.
I met him through Layla. Layla Hathaway.
I love Layla Hathaway.
Layla.
That's a bad singing bitch. Now what I want to do with her? She got her own world.
I know.
Like I got my own planet.
Right.
So and we can just affect each other planetarily. Like it's beautiful enough for me. There's another guy, Anderson .Paak. He's got a future.
Good to hear you say that.
Yes, ma'am. So there are a few young people, I really do want, and I will work with. This TV streaming I'm going to do, and I'm getting ready to do that you're getting ready to hear about.
Yes.
I'm telling you, first hearing about it right here
This
with
is the
Luenell.
scoop.
That's right. It's
Chaka's
scoop, baby.
coming to the streaming service.
I'll be having artists like that.
Ooh.
I will showcase some new artists, and I will also have guest artists on.
You like Kim?
Yes, I do.
I do too.
Kim's good. Yes, I like him.
Yeah,
We work together a lot on a lot of cruises and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on the same bill.
Would you ever do Vegas? It's a lot of work too.
I've done a little bit of Vegas, but it was a while back, and I didn't do it like these other people.
What if they offered you a residency when Vegas gets back popping, like sometime next year?
It doesn't move.
What about
me.
90 days?
I'm not 90 days.
90 days.
That's all I would do, tops. And they'd have to be they'd have to stick their hands
You want to be
deep in
in
their pockets.
Celine Dion in the Celine Dion Theater?
Yeah, they have to put that. No. We'll just name it the Chaka Khan Theater.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd have to stick their hands so deep in their pockets that it might break their back. So
well, their back's pretty broke right now.
Yeah, right. So I'm not. I've never cared for Vegas. It never moved me. Now Terry Lewis, he loved him to Vegas. I got him for his birthday. I got him a mini slot machine with Vegas on it. He was so he said it's the best gift I ever got. It's okay. You really do love Vegas.
He loves that funk too. They call you that. Queen
you know what funky means? You know what? I had a problem being called Queen of Funk because I can sing so many kinds of music. Why just lead it from? But funky is an African word. It's a West African, Northwest African word, and it means one who is able to arouse the spirit. Somebody could take your spirit and do things with it. You know what I'm saying? You know, like a gospel singer. Like, you know what I mean? Like take you under. So that's a great thing. I just found this out like 2 weeks ago. That is a word, not an adjective. It comes from a tribe of people in the Congo, around the Congo. And funky, I don't know how it's spelled. John Barnes told me about it on the phone. So I've yet to, but when he told me that, I felt differently about it.
That's awesome. You know what else is awesome? Star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Girl! Woo!
That was pretty nice. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
I feel like you deserve that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that day, how'd you feel that day? Like, because you had to take the pit. No.
I forgot, child.
Think!
It was hot. And I had a pink, ugly ass pink suit. I said, what the fuck am I doing with a pink suit? It's ugly and it's pink.
Why'd you wear it?
Because I didn't have anything else. I mean, this guy made it for me, you know.
You got some wardrobe by Angela Dean as well, right?
Oh, Angela Dean, yes, she's made
lots
of stuff. We have
Me too.
a very, yes, I can tell with your t-shirts and stuff that we all have she does all my Uggs and stuff. She'll glitter up my
all
stuff.
my red carpet stuff. Angela
yeah.
does. I've never had, I only had one designer ever before, and that was in Oakland, Henry Delton Williams. And then I got turned on to Angela by my friend Norwood Young. And that's been
Norwood,
it.
yes.
Yeah. Hey, Norwood.
Yeah.
And that's been it. That's been it.
Yeah.
I've not gone any further.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she really knows how to, whether you're bigger or
big
you
or
get
little.
smaller.
She's really good for full-figured women.
Yeah.
That's where she excels, and I love that. She has a real
Diane
good
Reeves
eye.
and Patty and all us
everybody.
big girls.
Yes.
We were going through your songs.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody love me better.
Yes.
Tell me about that. Did you write that?
No. I wish I had.
Right.
David Hawk Wolinski, his name was Hawk, and he was our keyboard player in Rufus for a time. And he wrote that song.
That's one that when we first started hearing the little
timeless, unbelievable.
The first little 4 notes.
Everybody goes in.
They go nuts.
Yes. And he's amazing. It's amazing that he wrote that song. I mean, just amazing.
Yeah, you know, the beauty of music and arts, period,
the power,
acting and stuff, the power is that, you know, literally you will live forever. That's literally, you will live forever.
Very true.
This music that you created,
yeah,
and other artists like you know, like we were talking about Layla and stuff, it's multi-generational.
Yeah.
That's the blessing. Some people are making music now. 20 years from now, they'll be like, who?
Who, what? And
but
what?
No, you'll still be Chaka Khan 20 years from now, 20 years after that.
The true artists, yes, are timeless and will never go away. The true artists, the ones who truly embrace their calling and see it for what it is, and don't go in there and try to prostitute it or whore it, which we're getting a lot of these days. So, you know, you have to be respected.
You also got involved with some other artists in tribute to Trayvon.
Of course, yes, right? I did.
This era that's going on now and stuff really...
It's not new.
Yeah.
It really, didn't just start.
It's not.
You know, give me a break.
The only thing new is cell phone cameras. That's the only thing new. And the other thing that's new is that finally more than your friend or somebody is listening to us when we've been saying this all along, right?
Yes.
The Trayvon thing really moved you. Have you met his mom?
Yes, I have. We did a whole little campaign with them. Video and I went to some speeches, some rallies.
Yeah.
And
as a matter of fact, not to, you know, be pumping this up, but that's one way that we bonded was through, we ended up doing that rally for Ahmaud's
Plight of Our People.
Yeah, the Plight of Our People. Tell the folks how we got together with that.
We were just, our minds were blown. Okay?
I had an Instagram breakdown.
We had like a breakdown.
Yeah.
You know, at how, you know, women's babies are being just taken from them, from us, all of us as a community and as a nation and as a people. But as a people, we are we're on an endangered species list.
Yeah.
Our men, especially.
You know, we had only had a superficial relationship until
that time.
Because when I had my breakdown on Instagram,
you
reached out to me.
I responded. Yes, I did. Yes, because I did. I was having one too.
And then we ended up
coming together,
making a rally on Mother's Day.
Yes,
in the park.
That's right.
For mothers who had lost their children to gun violence and police and stuff like that.
That's right.
And we took some really epic photos that I'll cherish.
And I gave you a thingy. You might want to show the people. That is our hashtag. That was
our Enough is Enough.
Enough is Enough was ours. Our hashtag.
We created that.
Did I give it to you, or did I take it back?
My thingy.
Yeah, thingy.
Yeah, you gave it to me.
Okay. So she'll use it, and if you want to get one, I have the proceeds.
So let me give it back to you so you can show the folks.
Okay. You want me to present it to you because half the proceeds will go to families who have lost sons or daughters.
Bam.
And this I'm presenting to Luenell.
Yes.
My friend, my sister, my love. And it says enough is enough. That was our hashtag that we started that day in that park.
Right.
And if you want to purchase one, you can go to my website, chakakhan.com, or to Luenell, I'm sure. We will hook it up. And half proceeds will go to either a school or to the mothers who have lost sons or daughters. Wherever we can help, we will be there to do that. We will find the right places to put half of the proceeds of this, and the rest will go to making more. So if you want one,
I
she can catch like a man. I love it. Oh, yes. You like baseball?
Somewhat.
Yeah, I like the movie The Natural is like my favorite.
I like baseball players.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I love too. I love to watch the pictures.
I love their pants is tight.
Yeah.
I like that. Hey, let me ask you something really off the grid. This is crazy. In December 6, 2012, right? You performed a benefit for the Israeli Defense Force.
They must have paid me a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? Because somebody was supposed to be there before you.
And they probably bowed out. And then
yeah. Was it Stevie, I think? And then
they couldn't do it
now. And it what was that about?
I don't know. I don't recall. I do not recall. I really don't.
You did in 2013. This is according to the writing on the wall. Mm-hmm. You did an episode of Celebrity Ghost Stories.
Yeah, I did.
Where you told the story of a shadow man who's been following you for years.
It was.
Was.
Yeah, but it's no longer.
Is a shadow?
He is he's what you call a shadow person. And he used to sit in hotels, wherever I was. He would be in the chair by the window, even if I was on the 28th floor. Sometimes he'd be outside the window and I could see his shadow coming in through the drapes. Or he'd be by that chair.
Was this completely sober or was this?
No, I was fucked up.
Okay. That guy.
Yeah.
I've seen that guy.
Yeah. But I'm telling you the thing is, he would keep me, I would stay awake, until the sun started coming up and then he would start fade away and then I could sleep. So.
I know that guy. I've seen that guy.
Yeah, child.
In many a hotel room.
No, but this is really a real true entity that really did exist because he wasn't only there, that's when he came into my life, but he did stay with me, during sober times as well. I just.
Child, okay.
But I don't have any of that crap now because I know how to handle it. I know the power that I have over
whatever.
All that.
But you went to rehab, right?
Mm-hmm. So I went to 3 rehabs.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say that ultimately it is within you to overcome all this stuff?
Absolutely.
And that rehabs are...
It comes down to you. Well, yeah, it absolutely comes down to you. However, where rehabs, I think, do come in...
I think they make you stop
help
for a
you
minute.
to full stop.
Yeah.
And that is what the emotional thing that we get with the drugs or whatever is we can't do alone. So you do need some place to go where you're not looking at the same stuff you were looking at when you were getting messed up and seeing the same people that you were seeing when you're getting messed up. You need to be somewhere. So I did go to a really good place.
Hey, it's crazy about social media, right? Because whenever we were going through whatever we were going through, and I say we, there was no, there was no cell phones.
No.
There was no paparazzi.
No.
There was no TMZ to follow you around and put you on blast.
We were very private about it,
Yeah.
It was at somebody's house who we knew very well. It wasn't a crowd of people.
Only the people of Oakland know about my escapades. Okay. Oh, boy.
Someone just told me, who I used to, mess around with that stuff, said, Chaka, if you knew everything you did, you'd kill yourself.
Did you jump in
Rick James? God. I said,
did you jump in Rick James' pool butt ass naked?
No, I did not. I've never jumped in. I didn't jump in my pool butt naked, so I jumped in his pool.
But it'd be better to jump in naked than jump in with clothes on.
Rick James wished I would jump anywhere around him butt naked. Hell no, I went in his closet. I went in his closet and I got some belts and shit. That's what I did.
I'm about to pull my hair out.
I truly did. Shoot.
Well, how
I went to Rochester, New York, wherever he lived.
Rumors get started.
They do.
Girl.
People want me in bed. They want to place me in bed with Prince. They want to place me in bed with everybody. Sorry. I'm not your Huckleberry on that.
And you talked that trash about Ariana Grande, but you did a song with Ariana Grande, didn't you?
Well, she asked me to sing this song with her for the movie.
She got a great voice, Chaka.
She's a great singer.
Yeah.
She's her own planet, too.
Yeah, she's her own
planet. And, she's great. I get her. I got her. I love her. Bam. She wasn't there. I went in the studio, put my vocal down, and left.
It seems that...
And I didn't like that.
It seems that, you give I don't know how to say it, but you sang for the Democratic and the Republican
conventions.
Conventions,
For,
right?
If I had my reasons, yes. And what for who was there? That's right.
That coin. Who got more money, the Republicans or the Democrats?
What do you think?
Next question. What other goals do you have? You know, what haven't you done? What do you still want to do?
What haven't I done? The only thing I haven't done is kick myself in the back of the head. I'm only kidding.
Girl, if you can do that, you will get that boyfriend that you ain't looking for.
That's a vaudeville joke, okay?
Vaudeville.
Hell.
Just say to the people anything that you would like them to know. You know, what 3 things? What 3 things do people not know about Chaka Khan that they should know?
Too much?
No, Chaka, for real.
Okay. I'm just trying to think. What the fuck? I don't know what they know. They know everything, don't you? I mean, we have social media.
What's your favorite food?
Okay, red food.
Red? Like spaghettis and lasagnas and...
Oh, mostly tomato sauces and tomatoes, things that have tomatoes or...
Even Italian.
Yeah, a lot. I love spices. And
what's your favorite island?
Kona, Hawaii.
Ah, Kona.
In fact, you know, my baby sister lives there, and she is a real estate lawyer. And I'm finna get me some land up in there.
I'm dying to go back to Hawaii. I haven't been to Hawaii in a couple of years.
Kona is
I like Waikiki. That's me.
Yeah. See what see.
Where the action is, and them pretty boys.
Yeah. Well, I'm not.
Because
I'm not looking
Maui and all that is for romantics.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but I want to get a farm. I want to have a little farmland where I can grow my own herbs and farm my own stuff. Get dirt under my nails and stuff and crawl around in the dirt.
That's like Pam Grier. Pam Grier's got her.
That's my girl.
Ranch
I love Pam Grier.
I do too.
Love her.
She stays out there.
I love you, Pam.
Horses. Pam, Chaka loves you. So do I, girl. Pam Grier. And what's your favorite car?
Oh, I love cars. I'm a car fanatic. That's one thing you don't know about me.
Okay.
So I'm a car fanatic. I love the Lotus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so like them.
You had a convertible Benz, though. We know about that.
Yeah.
What other kind of classics?
I love older cars, and I do love classic cars. I do love, not all the cars look like refrigerators. So I'm not really into any new model cars at all, really. Sorry. Camaros, I'll always love a Camaro. I can't help that.
Good old Camaro.
Yeah, and I like old classic. I'm a classic car lover more. You know, with the round, lovely. Oh, what's that? I love that Spider.
Oh, the Spider.
Oh, beautiful car. And I'm not a real big sports car person either. I'm not a real ragtop person. I like steel. I like a tank. And
what?
Yeah, I like a big tank around me, baby. I like, yes.
We still talking about cars?
Yeah. My eyes sparkle more about cars than it did about men.
They did.
That's something wrong here.
Put a man in a car.
It's something wrong.
There's something crazy. All right, let me ask you this: that as we, start to wind up, we were talking the other day about the verses. They had Snoop and DMX.
Mm-hmm.
They did Patty and Gladys.
Yes. And
I was asking you if you would ever do a verses, and you said,
hell to the no.
Fuck all that shit.
And because I asked you, I said, how do you feel about your craft? I said, do you see? And
I'm not battling.
And that's
anybody.
what I found out, that we are really very similar to, and also in the way we view our God-given gift.
Mm-hmm.
How we don't need no script. We don't need no fun and games.
Right.
We don't need no battles. We don't need no bullshit.
Right.
I'm not here to play.
But if you did one.
If I wouldn't battle nobody.
But okay, listen.
It's not a competition.
My dream. I got my dream one for you, but unfortunately,
what would it be?
The person's passed away. And I said, I would have put you with Tina Marie. I'd have done the verses with Tina Marie.
Okay.
I think that would have been nice.
A fine singer too. And she's a sweet girl. I loved her.
Yes, I met her just once.
I loved her.
I love Tina Marie. I remember that whole thing when they didn't know she was white. For a long time, people didn't know Tina Marie was white. And then it's like, what? Yep.
Because that's a great thing she pulled off, man. She was a colorless, beautiful woman.
Well, they'd been doing
she
that
was so good that she was colorless.
They'd been doing that in reverse to our artists all through the music industry. They didn't know they was
what they was.
Right. That's why they would put an animated picture on the album and they wouldn't put
right.
the black
face.
Oh,
and no, back in the day.
Yeah.
They would put a white couple on.
Pat Boone would take a Little Richard song and redo it and then make them.
Cole, Nat King Cole. He would do a album. They put a love album, love songs. He put a white couple kissing.
Yeah.
Never have his picture on his own stuff.
Right.
There was a time, yes.
So okay, so that Tina Marie. Then also, I think that we discussed that it would have been a good one with you and Natalie. I didn't think so, but other people think so. Then I've heard people, because I talked to some folks after I talked to you. I said, if Chaka did a versus, who would you want? They're saying you and maybe Anita Baker. I don't think it, because I just I'm so glad you're thinking. Anybody in your lane unless they were to take a girl like Jennifer or Fantasia, which we wouldn't want to do that because that's generational.
Yes, it is. It's another.
So you stand alone, my
stand alone.
You stand alone, my.
And heavy is the head
that wears the crown.
Damn, and that's a good ending right there. I'm just kidding.
Knowing how close that you two became, you and Prince, right? What was it like for you when you heard of his passing? Where were you and what happened?
You know what? When Prince passed, I was at home and I heard it on the news. But we spent a lot of time together. There was a portion of our lives that we spent together, and we were seeing each other every day, and it was really beautiful. And we read books. We read some of the same books. He turned me on a book, I'd read it. I'd turn him on the book, he'd read it. I love anyone I can share intellect with, and that is like what turns me really on. And but I never, and here I am. I'm an expert drug addict, okay? I've done it. And I could not tell. I never had an inkling, not even a suspicion, that this dude was dropping even an aspirin.
Yeah, because with that witness,
I would know. I'm like, hello? What happened? What?
But you know, because especially with him being such a devout witness, you know, Larry Graham came into his life.
I could see. Look, I was seeing all through it. I was cussing out Larry Graham and everything. I was all in everybody's behind. Believe me, I was. Okay, I really was. I was all in their business.
Well, do you think somebody switched the pills in the thing?
No, I think that he was.
But
look, let me tell you, this dude broke both his ankles at the same time.
What?
Wearing them high heels, did a jump, doing this on stage.
Oh, okay. Jesus.
He was in pain, yang. Okay. Now, if I'd have thought about that back then when I was looking for some evidence, I probably could have come up with some evidence, you know. I do consider myself somewhat of a sleuth. But I did not, I swear to God, he was the best at illusion. And what do you call it? When somebody misdirection and whole thing. You rarely saw him eat.
He stayed up all hours of the night and shit like that.
We used to go bowling at 3:00 in the morning.
I'd be like, listen, Prince, I'm gonna have to shut
I did that
down.
I did that maybe once or twice, but I said after that, I said no, thank you. He called and said, we're going bowling. I said, well, you all have a good time. You know. But yeah. But that's how he was like, he'd be perfect. He'd be happy right now in this COVID situation.
Yes.
And I am too. I have to say, I don't mind staying at home at all.
So the quarantine has not made you go.
Because I've never had a vacation.
Right.
In my entire career. I've never just taken a flight to somewhere I love and not had it work related.
Yeah. People don't realize that we don't get vacation.
We don't get time.
Because we travel so much.
And you can't go outside.
No.
You can't walk around. You know, you can't be free.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. I'm having a good time now.
I went to Jamaica one time.
You had a good time?
Without having to work. Well, that's a lie.
Where I met that girl.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Work too.
That's a lie. I'll take that back. Forget it. Never mind.
It turned into work.
It did.
It became work.
It sure did. It sure did.
Did you have a relationship with Michael Jackson though?
I met him twice. I couldn't hear him either time. I was like, both times I was like, what did you say?
Chaka, I got a whole thing about that. I used to say, I don't know what Joe Jackson did to them kids to make them so timid.
God.
And I'm like, Janet, I said, Janet, are you still fucking shy? Like you're 50 years old, you got a baby.
And like you're like a 11-year-old?
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck did she just say? I can't hear you. What's this I hear about you got a fixation or you're very fond of Harriet Tubman?
Always have been. I've always loved Harriet Tubman. But what I want singers to see and people who I want you to recognize in her story how magical music is and how powerful song is. There was a time when we were cave dwellers and we wasn't walking around humming a tune that back then, believe it, or they'd have put us to death. Songs or music was only used for healing, religious purposes, and powerful magic. Period. In our early dwelling time, whatever.
They sang out in them fields though.
Well, that's here's what she did. When she was looking to free people, she would stand. They'd be out in the field working, and she'd stand in the closest copse of trees that would be nearby, and she'd be standing just behind the tree line and sing to them. Mm-hmm. They would drop their hoeing instruments, whatever they were using, and run right to her, and she'd take them to freedom. That's powerful as all get out for me.
How'd you enjoy the movie?
I loved it. I love that girl,
Cynthia Erivo.
Oh my God, Cynthia, I love you. Okay, I really love you. So she's amazing.
Yeah.
And she did a great job. And that song is just that. So, yeah, I felt in love with Harriet again. Because
I'm glad that they did a good job on that film, because we were just like, don't fuck this
I'm seeing a lot of great, good Black film production happening in the Black community right now on telly. On Showtime is doing a very good job. Right now, I'm seeing some really fine filmmaking.
I just started going back to work a little bit, and I definitely noticed the change.
Yeah.
There's more women on the floor. There's more Black people on the floor, grips, cameramen, all that kind of stuff. And even
quality
if the change starts there, it's a start.
But the quality of film making that I'm seeing right now, I'm looking, looking at Lovecraft's,
Oh, yeah.
Country, Lovecraft Country, is off the fucking chain. Give me a freaking frack break.
I haven't watched that yet, but it's on my list.
I've seen like 5 movies, I saw one last night with Lisette Chriselle, that's her name?
Mm-hmm.
Chrisette, yeah, I'm sorry.
Michelle.
Fabulous. It's a big word. You know what I'm talking about? It's one word. What it is a reenactment place that they go to down south to reenact the Civil War. Out where boys, big idiots, get to go and reenact the Civil War.
I can't stand that shit.
Neither. But this movie, what happened to her in this movie could actually be happening today. It could. I could see it happening.
My heart broke wide open when we lost Chadwick Boseman. The quality of work that he did, bow down. The quality of and they're like, oh my God, he didn't tell anybody he was ill.
No,
well, I don't know what his reason was, but I know that in Hollywood, even this goes back to Rock Hudson when he had AIDS. People don't tell people when they're sick because no one want to work with you if you're sick. Film company may not want to insure you. And it's a lot of politics.
Oh, well, I never thought of that aspect of it. I actually thought about the person is very private.
I know. But there's other reasons as well that could be.
Yeah.
And he may not have been able to crank out the movies that he did in the shorter time that he did. Had he said, I was ill. And he worked through all that. Worked through all that.
An amazing human being. An amazing human
He's
being.
an angel.
Never got to meet him. I just would love him.
I was at the SAG Awards when Black Panther was nominated because A Star Is Born was nominated as well, and I was in that. And our table was not far from the Black Panther table, and commercials and stuff. We would get up and run and say hi to everybody.
Yeah, I know.
And I saw Chadwick, but I didn't hug him because I was too excited to hug up around Michael B. Jordan.
Oh.
And I should have been hugging Chadwick, just like me.
Well, at least you got to be in the
man.
same room with the dude, you know?
I did. I got to breathe that
the same air.
air.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and Lupita and all of them. It's amazing. Chaka,
this is beautiful.
Maybe ended up with just the kind of, you know, the 10 Grammys, the 70 million albums sold.
Who cares? I didn't sing for Grammys.
Okay.
I am really, honestly, I'm happy and glad that people love me enough to the number of how many?
22 Grammy Award nominations.
Okay, that's love.
22.
I mean, I translate all that into love, and I am thankful, really, truly thankful and grateful that people love me to that.
And people do love you,
amount.
Chaka Khan. You are a legend. Your name is legendary. Your voice is legendary. Me sitting here talking to you today or getting a relationship with you is one of the greatest things ever happened in my life. And just continue to be the entity that you are and bring peace and joy to the world with the gift that God gave you, which is your voice.
That's right.
I want to thank you for this time sitting down with me.
Thank you.
I love you, love you.
I love you too. I had a great time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, babe.
Bye, guys.